Hi everyone, it's Becky from createafashionbrand.com and fashionserviceshongkong.com doing our 5-minute fashion brand video. And this week I got an email from Becky in New York and she's talking about manufacturing her products. Now Becky is doing quite a small amount of products for her first go. She's just starting out. I should tell everyone, so Becky is looking at a minimum quantity of about 50 pieces, 50 units, which is the technical term. Okay, but Becky's question is, where should she manufacture her products? Okay, so in terms of manufacturing, you've got two things. You've got cost and you've got location in terms of ease of shipping, etc., etc. Now, if you've got a big enough quantity to go abroad, somewhere like Vietnam or China, India, somewhere like that, a lot of people opt to do that because it's a lot cheaper to produce per unit. But what you have to consider is when you've got a smaller amount of products to produce, so anything under 200 units per design, you're going to have to think about the actual total cost. Now, what I mean by that is not just how much it costs to make the garment or your product, but you've also got to think about the shipping costs on top of that, the additional packaging, because you will need more sturdy packaging in order to ship the products to you, and usually they're on a boat for like 6 weeks, so you need to make sure they're waterproof, etc., etc. But you've also got a number of legal things that you've got to think about. So you've got import tax. Some countries have different duties and levies depending on where the product started and where they're going to end up. And I know that in the news at the moment there's a lot about trade agreements and like free trade agreements. Basically that will affect you. So it's how much you are importing and how much tax you're going to have to pay on top of that. Now that's usually just to get it to the port, a dock somewhere in your country. You've then got to pay for shipping from that point onto wherever you are. So there's quite a lot involved in shipping from overseas. For someone like you, Becky, you've only got 50 pieces. It's not, even if the products are cheaper to make, it's not going to be cheaper for you then to ship them. So actually for you, I'd end up looking at somewhere like LA, maybe going down there. There's quite a few factories in LA. In the UK, you've got a place like Leicester. In Europe, you've got a couple of different countries that do a lot of manufacturing, like Turkey, Poland. And then obviously if you're in Asia, it's a little bit easier because you do have kind of manufacturing in a lot of different countries. So ask your factory when you're getting quotes, ask them how much it is to make the product, but also what their shipping terms are and how much it's going to cost for the shipping on top. And that way you can get an idea roughly of how much it's going to cost. But don't forget to check out all your legal costs like import tax and things like that. You need to then add that all up and work out whether it's going to be cheaper. But in general, until you're getting to the point where you're ordering maybe 200, at least 200 units per design, it's not going to be cheaper for you to manufacture outside of your own kind of country or area, really. Somewhere that can, if you're in Europe, for example, you've got a number of countries that are together, so you can still drive things across borders with open trade agreements. So it makes no difference whether you're in, one country and you're getting it from the next one. But you need to really look at the legal costs as well. So for you specifically, Becky, getting it manufactured in the US is going to be cheaper. But when you get to the point where you've grown your brand and get to the point where you're doing sort of 200-300 pieces a style, then that's the point where you go and have a little look abroad. Okay, so that's it for this week. Don't forget to leave me a comment on our main 5-minute fashion brand video if you've got a question for me. It can be anything to do with starting your fashion brand, going through the process, marketing, sales, anything you like. So I look forward to your comments and I will see you next week.